My name is Raymond Folling. My company is a registered investment advisory. I've been in the financial services industry for 36 years with a focus really of retirement planning and a focus on guaranteed retirement income. Number one, I think they should look for somebody to work with that they feel comfortable with. And that may mean that you have to talk to several different people to find somebody that goes along with the things that you're thinking that you would like to do. But probably first and foremost of that is, do you have an idea what you would like your money to do for you? And that may sound like a stupid question, but specifically what would you like to do? Everybody has different ideas on what they want based upon their current financial situation. So it's being able to write down or express what it is that's important to you. What would you like to see happen with the dollars that you have? Probably one of the biggest things that we run into is that people will have other accounts in other places. Sometimes they forget, but a lot of times maybe they've got some money at a brokerage account, and then they'll call a registered investment advisor or whatever and call them in, and they'll chat with them about some insurance products and maybe a little bit of figuring out how to guarantee income. But what they end up really with is a hodgepodge of stuff. Not to say that it's bad, but there's nobody really quarterbacking the whole process. And I think that's probably one of the biggest frustrations that we run into is that, getting those people to tell us. Now, I think sometimes what happens is people don't always share because sometimes they're embarrassed by what they have. They think they should have more. And that's at any income. They feel that they don't have what they need, and so they feel embarrassed. I tell people, hey, everybody has problems at different times in their life, maybe without work, maybe they were downsized, whatever. Maybe they're helping a parent exist, away from home. And so, you don't always aren't able to put away the money that you would like to. Even more reason to take and be upfront, honest, and share everything that you have with the idea that that person then has the ability to review all these products. Now, once again, you have to make sure you're with people that are licensed. A lot of times we run into where some people are licensed for securities, but they're not licensed for insurance products. And so, in a lot of ways, that's difficult for them to cross lines. That's why you need to look for a true advisor or a registered investment advisor or something, somebody that can work on both sides of that aisle to bring all these things together, rather than just trying to fix one little thing at a time to try to put together a comprehensive plan. As I said, people kind of get stuck in one area. They have somebody they like and they work with that person, even though they may not be thinking through, does this person have enough knowledge to help me in these other areas? Doesn't mean that you can't have two different advisors working together. I have clients that have me help them with their long-term care needs or insurance needs, and maybe a portion of their 401k program, but then they've got a broker that they've worked with for some time with other money that they want to keep that relationship with. I don't see that as a big problem as long as you make each of these people aware of what's going on the other side, so that you can try to take and coordinate these things to where they work together. Yep. It doesn't matter whether you're already retired or you've got 10 years till retirement. It's always good to sit down with someone. The earlier you start, obviously, the more opportunity you have for things to work the way you want them to if you have a longer time horizon. It allows you to make adjustments in your expenses if you're trying to get to a certain income goal. But what I usually find out there is that a lot of people, they don't really know what they want, out of their income or out of their 401k or their IRAs. And that's where the plan comes in, is to help them focus on, hey, this is our goal. This is where we're headed. We may not hit that goal, but at least we're on track to that goal with the idea that we can make this work as best as possible, rather than waiting until you're ready to walk out the door. You've lost a bunch of money in your 401k because you didn't talk to someone to realize that maybe I needed to be a little more conservative prior to that time. Trying to do too much in too short a time can end up then being a disaster for some of these people. But I have clients that are already retired that just go, I have to get off this merry-go-round. I can't keep handling these ups and downs of the market because it's wiping out my my nest egg. I think the first thing I would do is find somebody that I can sit down with and kind of open up everything to them. What I find as an advisor is a lot of people, they'll have a piece here, a piece over here, and there's pieces all over the place, and nobody knows what's going on with the other stuff. So number one, they need a plan. And the only way to really get a plan is to sit down with someone that maybe can focus on all those different things. If you've got life insurance, what is that life insurance doing? What do you expect it to do? What would you like for it to do? Call me, of course. And and what I like to do is sit down with people. In my office, we do not pressure people into doing things. I think that's something that people are fearful of too, and in talking to people that they don't know or haven't met before, or even people they know. Sometimes they just don't want people to know their business, but they're afraid of that pressure. I remember having a business owner tell me once that, well, yeah, there were some things he would like to work on, but he was afraid I was going to be too pushy. And I tried to let him know, listen, I have too many other things to take care of to sit there and try to browbeat you hour after hour into doing something that obviously you don't want to do. So I think it's important to start these things with people. My first interviews with people basically are just to get them to start thinking about what it is that they want to do with their assets, and to get to know them. Even though I'm lovable, not everybody would want to work with me. Everybody has different personalities, and so that's part of it too, is just getting used to somebody and then wanting to open up, because you're going to tell me everything that you want, all your problems, all your issues, your assets, and that makes people uncomfortable from that perspective, especially if you know them. But what they need to understand though is I've had friends of my own that have become clients, and sometimes they're afraid to tell me what their income is, or that it's a lot of money and they don't want to tell me what it is. I actually told one of the individuals, I said, listen, I know your lifestyle. It isn't hard for me to work backwards to get an idea as far as what you have in assets or what you have for income. So it's just trying to get them to be comfortable to share information, realizing that this information is not going to be shared with the universe. I'm going to see it, you're going to see it, and that's as far as it goes. And that we will go from there then to try to put together a program that you go, yeah, that works for me. That may not happen the first few times that we get together. If I bring back a program and you may not like the way that it looks, you may want to switch that up or change it around, and that's fine too. It's kind of interesting when you look out across the population. You have some people that are very fearful of the marketplace in general. I think they don't know where else to look or where else to go, so they find themselves there, but I think they find it very stressful. Other people believe that, well, the market's strong, and when the market's strong, they need to be in it. It's almost like I refer to it as, gambling. It's I can take my chances with the market, and hopefully I'm going to do well. In some cases, I think there's some bragging rights. Some people love the idea they can sit down over cocktails and talk about their stock portfolio. But I think there has been a run to the marketplace, probably to try to make up as much possible as they could from the last crash that we suffered in 08, 09, trying to get ahead of the game. I personally feel that that's a pretty dangerous tack to take with that, because most of these people are people that cannot afford another 2008 crash. But I think that after a while, they lose their fear of what's happening. I think a lot of the up and down movement of the market has made the people a little bit complacent, to where they feel like if it goes down, it's going to come back up. What will be interesting in the next severe crash of the market that we have, how many of those people will protect their portfolios rather than just riding it all the way down and then trying to figure out how many more years it's going to take for it to come back. Obviously, people, when they start looking at what they want to do for looking for a planner, is they always seem to go to the big brokerages, the big, as I call them, the big box, Raymond James, Edward Jones, which is fine. I think that a lot of times when they go to these places, they don't get enough of just general information, Everything's pretty much market driven. So I think people need to look at a lot of different places. Talk to your insurance agent, you might talk to a registered investment advisor, somebody that does a lot more things than just looking at just stocks, bonds, pretty much everything within the market. That'll give them then a little bit broader view of maybe what's available out there. I think that a lot of people feel that the only thing they have available is to be in the market to generate income, where in a generation ago, people would use CDs. Retirees use CDs because it would protected their money, and they could draw up to 5% interest from it and then pass that money on to their kids. So it was a very safe place for them to be. Today, those markets are gone. So it's kind of interesting when you look out across the population. You have some people that are very fearful of the marketplace in general. I think they don't know where else to look or where else to go, so they find themselves there, but I think they find it very stressful. Other people believe that, well, the market's strong, and when the market's strong, that they need to be in it. It's almost like I refer to it as, gambling. It's I can take my chances with the market, and hopefully I'm going to do well. In some cases, I think there's some bragging rights. Some people love the idea they can sit down over cocktails and talk about their stock portfolio. But I think there has been a run to the marketplace, probably to try to make up as much possible as they could from the last crash that we suffered in 08, 09, trying to get ahead of the game. I personally feel that that's a pretty dangerous tack to take with that, because most of these people are people that cannot afford another 2008 crash. But I think that after a while, they lose their fear of what's happening. I think a lot of the up and down movement of the market has made the people a little bit complacent, to where they feel like if it goes down, it's going to come back up. What will be interesting in the next severe crash of the market that we have, how many of those people will protect their portfolios rather than just riding it all the way down and then trying to figure out how many more years it's going to take for it to come back. I'm Ray McFoley. Reach out to me today, and I will answer your call personally.